Happy morning, children. Welcome to the next session of English. How are you all? Weekly once we are getting an English session and it is very rare we are meeting. Hope so you are having a touch in your subject. You are going through your everyday lessons and whatever thing is being completed in English also you are doing it. Very soon your exam is approaching, term 1 exams. Keep preparing for it. You have to be in the flow. What is the poem we are seeing? The poem we are seeing is A Legend of the Northland. The Legend of the Northland. And before getting into today's session, I have to tell you something important, children. See, in last class of Google Meet, your doubt clearing session, I could find only few participants of 9th were there. And this week, after completing the portion, again we will have a doubt clearing session and you will have your revision through Google Meet. See to that everyone should attend. And I know that 9th standard students' parents have given you mobiles to take your class and to complete everything. So take everything in a serious way and see to that you attend the sessions through Google Meet. And whenever I ask you to show your videos to me, you are supposed to do that. Is that clear for you? Hereafter, your regular attendance in Google Meet, that is for the live sessions, will be marked. So be present for the session, for revision classes, and you have to be ready. This is what. Let us get into the topic of today. To start with the topic, the poem which we are seeing is A Legend of the Northlands. This poem has 16 stanzas, whereas we have completed 10 stanzas and 6 stanzas are left over. Prose lesson 5 comes under the deleted topic. No need to worry about that. 16 stanzas, 10 stanzas is already over. 6 more stanzas left out. We are going to see the 6 stanzas, the next 6 stanzas, followed by that the poetical devices. Get ready with your textbook. So whenever it comes to the session like this recorded session, now and then I'll insist you that you have to attend the session with your textbook. Will you do it, children? Get ready with your textbook. We will get into the poem now. Are you ready? So in the 10 stanzas, you can find that in the first stanza, the poet describes about the Northlands, the icy Northland, the snowy Northland, and he describes about the climate of Northland. And in the second stanza, you can see how the people are there, how funny they look with their dresses, with their fur cloths. Third stanza, he talks about Saint Peter, who goes in a visit to preach, and there he meets a lady. He asks the lady for a piece of bread, and that lady is not ready to offer him a piece of bread. Okay, a piece of cake. This is what you can see that till 10 stanzas. When the lady is not ready to offer him a piece of cake, what happens? That is what we are going to see in the next 6 stanzas. Shall we move into the next 6 stanzas now? Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint. The man grew angry. Okay, when listening to the lady ignored the lady. She just hesitated to offer him a piece of cake, a small cake. This lady is not ready to give him a small piece of cake. She tried to make a small cake even smaller. When it comes to the size of wafer, this lady is not ready to offer that even. When the saint sees this character of the lady, he grew angry, for he was hungry and faint. See, If a person comes to your doorsteps and he asks you for food, if you are not ready to offer him food even after seeing to his condition, that is something inhuman. Is it or not, children? Yes, that is something inhuman. So the same thing makes him angry. He is getting irritated. He becomes angry. He is hungry. He tells that he is hungry. And from the morning he is in fasting. And surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. What is the meaning of the word provoke? Provoke means just hurting someone or irritating someone with your behavior. So this lady has hurted him. The saint is not ready to accept that. He is wondering how he is able to see a woman like this without a concern, without a compassion for others, with all such inhuman attitude. It is not possible. This makes him to grow angry over there, to get anger on her. When he is angry on her, what happens? And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form." This is like a warning for her. You are too selfish in nature to dwell in a human form. We call ourselves as a human being, but we have to think. Human being is a term. Being human is a quality. So this saint says that you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter. When you have in excess, you should be ready to offer it to others. But this lady is not ready to share with others. Come on, you can just anticipate yourself. You people can think about yourself. If a person in need of food and shelter comes to you and asks you for food and shelter, will you give them, children? When you have it in excess, will you give them? You have to give them. That shows that you have the human attitude. You have the human quality in you. If you don't do that, you are not fit to live in your human form. Every human should have a concerned heart, should have a helping attitude. If you fail in that, you are not supposed to call yourself as a human being. To have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. We all know that human being is a gifted creature in this world. Being a human is a gifted creature. We have a house to live, we have food to eat. When we see the other creatures in earth, we all know that birds, animals, everything, they don't have a proper place to live. They don't have a proper food to eat. Hence, we schedule our life. How do we schedule our life? Morning food, evening snacks, midday meal, lunch and dinner, followed by that supper. So we just satisfy our hunger. But when we think about other living creatures, they don't get 3 meals of their day. They don't have a proper place to live. So when we have everything, but we don't have the mindset of sharing with others, we don't have the mindset of helping others. So here the saint says that you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter, and you also have a fire to keep you warm. See yourself, you are a gifted creature, but you don't have that attitude of helping others. Next, now you shall build as the birds do. What is the curse he is giving? The saint is cursing the lady to become a bird and shall get your scanty food. The meaning of the word scanty is scarce food. When you are not ready to share with others, then why you are supposed to get full amount of food? let you get a scanty food, and boring all day in the hard dry wood. He is just causing the lady to become as a bird. Have you got the idea, children? At the end of the poem, you will come to know that the lady gets changed into a woodpecker. The lady gets changed into a woodpecker bird. This is the curse given by the saint. Why the saint is cursing her? Because the lady is not ready to share anything. That is the reason why the saint is cursing her to become a bird. You know that birds will get very less amount of food to eat. They will just take the worms. They will just take the insects. Okay, whatever is being present. And even you know that the woodpecker bird, it will keep on pecking the wood to get something from the wood. So this saint is cursing her to become a bird all day in the hard dry wood. See the curse which is given by the saints. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker. Now you can see the transition in her that I have given you in the slide. The lady is getting changed into a woodpecker bird. She is coming out through the chimney of the kitchen. You all know that, through which the hot steam will get out, the smoke will get out. So this lady, because of the curse given by the saint, she is getting changed as a bird and she comes out of the chimney. Are you able to understand? Okay, and what kind of bird? She gets changed into a woodpecker. And how that woodpecker will be? I have given you some images of a woodpecker. She had a scarlet cap on her head. You all know that the color of scarlet is red color, red velvet color. Every woodpecker will have a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in flame. So here in the previous slides you could see, since this lady is in the kitchen, we could find a cap on her head. Except that cap, everything was burnt out. All her clothes were burnt into a flame. Only she has the cap in her head, the red velvet cap. You can get a good picturization over there, a good imagination. Why woodpecker birds are being like this? She had a scarlet cap on her head and that was left the same. Only the scarlet cap which the lady had was there in the bird. Rest of the cloths were burnt black as a coal and into a flame. And every country school boy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Boring and boring. Instead of this word boring and boring, you can replace this word by pecking and pecking for food. And every country school boy has seen her in the wood. So we all know that we can see this bird woodpecker wherever we go. It just keeps on pecking for its food to get some insects from the bark of the tree, from the stem of the tree, from the trunk of the tree. It keeps on pecking to get some food for it. And this is the reason why the complete life of it has become boring now. Whenever you see a bird woodpecker, you'll come to think about the lady who got cursed by Saint Peter. Will you get reminded of that lady, children? The greedy lady who is not ready to offer anything? Yes, you have to get reminded of the greedy lady. If you are going to be greedy in nature, God will curse you. So don't get that curse from anyone. Try to be a good human being.